Hey there, welcome to the Aligned Businesswoman podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Miller, business strategist, mindset coach, and mom who refuses to believe you have to choose between scaling your business and having a life you love. If you've done the vision boards, downloaded the freebies, and still find yourself hustling harder than you want to admit, this show is for you. Each week, I share practical strategies mixed with subconscious rewiring and feminine energetics so you can attract clients, stabilize revenue, and grow your business in a way that actually feels good. Because you deserve consistent income and a life outside your laptop. Let's get into it. You're a baddie. Like, seriously, you're a baddie. You are a high achiever. You know what you want. You go after what you want. But there's something lingering inside that is still needing to be unleashed. I see you, I hear you, and I got you. Yet, despite all those things, you've hit the milestones, you packed your calendar, and you followed every strategy they told you to. But instead of feeling secure, your business feels fragile. Like one missed week can send it all crashing. And underneath that hustle, you're scared that freedom will only come with more pressure, more people pulling on you, and more weight on your shoulders. I've had a client even tell me that she does not want to show up on social media during her goddess day because she's afraid that her sister is going to be like, hey, you have all this free time. Can you help me with my kids? Yes, the pressure from family and friends that comes with whenever you finally reach a level in your business where you have the income and the freedom is really a legit worry. I get it. I understand that tug and pull. It's like you want to reach a certain level of success. You want these things because you know that you want these things, right? But then there's that fear of what that means. Is it going to be more responsibility, more stress, more people demanding something of you? And while you really want to take a month off vacation, and while you really want to take a month off of work to go on vacation, you secretly dread that if you step back, it's not going to be safe or you're going to come back to a lot of problems. That's the feast-or-famine cycle dressed up as achievement. It's like you know that you're meant for more and you reach out to go for more and then you go just slightly out of your comfort zone and then you contract. You're showing yourself like, hey, I am an action taker. I do what it takes, but it's just actually enough. It's just enough to reach slightly out of your comfort zone, but it's outside your comfort zone. That expansion is where that money that you want, that freedom that you want, that schedule that you want, the joy and success that you want is. But you get afraid of what people might say. You get afraid of being judged. You're afraid of what that might mean in terms of responsibility and stress. Because we were taught that working harder now, ease will come later. But then once you succeed, people are going to want something from you. And that success requires sacrifice. And when you get to that success, you're thinking sacrifice might mean your own time in the future, your own freedom, your own sovereignty. Or perhaps maybe you have a similar story like I do, where you watched a parent reach a certain level of success only to be torn down by people that didn't like him, people that may not like you, people that are jealous. So I get it. So we are in this, again, tug and pull. There's a resistance. One of my favorite coaching tools that I use with my clients when they're experiencing this situation is parts integration. It's having those parts come together because predictability doesn't come from working hard. It comes from being congruent. It comes from building systems and rhythms that hold your growth without you having to hold everything. I bet if you were to ask yourself, get in a quiet moment, you might journal on something like this. You might say, part of me wants this, but part of me thinks this. And when you don't understand what the common thread is between those two things, those two parts of you, so they can work together, then there's always going to be resistance. When you install structure that supports you, both mindset, energetically, in business systems, your income becomes steady, your time frees up, and success feels light for the first time. Let's talk about 7 business strategy secrets that my clients use to stabilize their revenue. While I am going to mention some energetic and mindset strategies, I'm also going to give you very practical strategies that you can implement right away. So number 1 is that I want you to focus on anchoring a signature offer. I don't know if you know this, but my clients range from realtors to consultants to massage therapists to online business owners and coaches. So the tips that I'm giving you, you can actually apply them to any industry in any niche. And maybe you need to think outside the box or tweak it a little bit, but it's still applicable. So finding a signature offer instead of reinventing the wheel every single quarter or every single year, you want to make sure that you have a validated offer that you go all in on. This is what's going to create consistent income. Let me give you a specific example how it works for maybe a realtor. Hey, are you thinking about launching a podcast or taking yours to the next level? Juliana Barbati and her team are the experts you need. They take care of everything from episode funnel design to production and marketing, so you can focus on creating content that connects. Check out julianabarbati.com and mention I sent you. So a realtor can go all in and say that I am a realtor for only luxury properties. I always advise my clients to be thinking big. Be thinking about the higher ticket that you can sell that's going to earn you a higher commission or a higher sell, because then we quote unquote cut our teeth that way. We gain confidence, we feel like an expert, and then we also get high quality clients and get social proof. So for the example of the realtor, what I have seen in the past is that some realtors will take anything. So that even includes renters. And if you're a realtor or you know anything about real estate, then you know that the commission for a rental property is going to be a lot less than when you sell a luxury home. So they're spending a lot more time selling a lower ticket offer instead of spending less time on the higher ticket. Now, I know that some realtors might be like, well, I'm so new, and they start having all these reasons why that they can't sell the higher ticket. And that is when practicing mindset work, the energetic work, is going to help you. For an example of a massage therapist, I'm going to actually use one of my clients, Ria, as an example here. She is an expert at lymphatic massages, and she's also an expert at helping women post-op from any kind of body surgery, so like enhancements, liposuction, tummy tucks, etc. She's an expert at helping them heal a lot faster and reducing scarring because she understands the lymphatic system. So that tells me that she's an expert. She adds value for her clients, and she helps them protect their surgery investment, because these people are spending thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on their body. The last thing they want is, 1, to get an infection, 2, for it not to heal properly, or 3, for them to have to go back into surgery. So to me, that is a premium offer that she's offering. And so she can create a package that is premium, that includes the lymphatic massage. And she even has some other tools that are in the whole realm of toning, sculpting, and healing the body. Number 2, you want to adopt a revenue rhythm. Set days for marketing and follow-ups. A rhythm creates predictability. I always say that if you want to have predictable income, you need to have predictable behaviors. When you coach with me, one of the things I love to teach about are brainwave states. Understanding how to get in certain brainwave states that support you and the things that you're trying to execute. For example, getting into more of an alpha brainwave state when you're doing some planning versus getting into a beta brainwave state when you're wanting to focus and get work done. And of course, when you want to access creativity, that you want to get your brain into a certain brainwave state so that you're fully optimizing the power of your mind. Now, when you apply this to a revenue rhythm, I like to think of it like this. During your content creation or your marketing, you want to access creativity. You also want to be focused so that you're implementing. That is going to create a rhythm for you so that you are creating revenue. Number 3, you want to simplify client flow systems. Over the past couple of years, I really reflected on what was working for me and what wasn't. And what I found was that I had multiple offers and continuous launching, which I hate. I'm not very good at launching, I'm going to be honest. It's like fun to plan it, but then I lose momentum. I'm just like, ooh, this is not working for me. Honestly, I'm not a person that builds really good hype. I like to give it all right away. And so I'm just horrible at launching. The past year, what I've realized is that I don't need to have a launch every time. I don't need to have multiple offers. When I focus on one system from lead generation to onboarding my clients, to speaking to one specific client, then I reduce the possibility of chaos and leaks in my funnel. My virtual assistant and I are in the process of revamping the onboarding system for the Profitable CEO Accelerator so we can simplify it. This not only helps my mind, but it also helps my clients get quicker wins because it is simplified and it's very clear in what they need to do to take action. So when you simplify client flow systems, be thinking about that from the very first point that they get to know you to when they become a client and they're going through your product or your service. Number 4, you want to batch and protect your CEO time. This is a dedicated space for visioning and strategy. It keeps growth on track. A lot of times we just want to execute and not really think about the next step. You want to think big picture, but then you also want to zoom in to look at the strategy and the tactics in between each of the milestones. When you protect your CEO time, you're able to execute with clarity and even excitement because you know your brain already knows what's coming next and you don't feel so chaotic. You're not a hot mess. You don't have scattered energy. One of the things that I do during my CEO power planning for my own business is that I look at data. I know that sounds so geeky or masculine, especially for the spiritual entrepreneurs that tune into my show that are very much in their feminine, but this is necessary. So I know what the next steps to take. I know that something's not working and I get to get curious on how I can tweak it, pivot, delegate, or maybe completely delete it from my strategy. So protecting that CEO time is crucial. It is going to inform your next steps. If you're interested in learning more about how to run your own CEO power planning so that you're looking at the right data and you're making informed decisions, DM me on Instagram at Vanessa Ann Miller, and I will do an episode about CEO power planning. Now let's move on to the next. Build recurring revenue streams. I know I told you that I want you to focus for 1 year until you hit 6 figures on one offer. Once you get through that mark and you're looking at your data during your CEO Power Hour, or you're looking at your data, or your money coming in during your CEO Money Fridays. I say Money Fridays because that's when I do it. Once you see that you're headed in that way and you see that the cost of doing your services or products, what we call as COGS, right? Cost of goods and services. Once you see that that is getting a little bit lower, maybe it's not as much capital that you need to run your business, and you see that you're predicting that you're going to be able to hit that 6 figures in the next few months, maybe you're like halfway through the year or maybe 3 months, that's when you want to start planting the seed of adding a possible second layer of revenue. You're not going to do it. You're just going to start getting curious. We're going to start seeding things. We're going to start doing market research and seeing if there's a demand for what you have in mind. But before you do any of those things, you need to make sure that you have a healthy cash flow, because at some point, what's going to end up happening is that if you're creating a new offer, it's going to take away from the offer that you're currently serving. It's going to take away your time, your focus, and maybe even money if you're delegating and hiring a team. So with that being said, you want to have a healthy cash flow from your current offer and some savings so that when you take your foot off the pedal just a little bit, you're able to still coast and still be able to generate that revenue that you're used to. The next one is you want to leverage delegation and automation. Free yourself from tasks that drain your energy and don't grow your revenue. The very first week inside your 6-figure year mini mind, we do an audit of this. We look at the leaks for your time, money, and energy. It's eye-opening. So many people see how they're draining their energy doing things that they hate that they can pay someone $10 an hour doing when they can go and earn $200 an hour. Little simple things like that, when plugged, can boost your revenue and your productivity. The audit also reveals what you're doing that is only busy work, that is not contributing to you making money. And so you start cutting these habits out. I love doing audits and even weekly check-ins inside the Profitable CEO Accelerator because I have the ladies check in with the tasks that they're doing, the mood that they're in, the results that they're getting. I gather that data and over time I analyze it. I have ChatGPT help me analyze it and it'll show me patterns. So for example, what I have noticed is that some women feel more motivated and happy when they're making money. And when they're not making that money, their mood goes down and it affects their productivity and their performance. So my job as a coach that's trained in NLP, hypnosis, and subconscious reprogramming is to help them detach from that so that they understand how their emotions are influencing their behaviors, thus their results. So an audit is probably one of the best things that you can do if you're really serious about getting to the next level in your business. And lastly, you want to install weekly reset rituals. I freaking love my balanced workweek method that I designed a few years ago because it really does allow you to have the best of both worlds when you do it right and when you stick to it consistently. So when you have clear priorities every single week, you're able to focus on what truly drives your income while making sure that you're not sacrificing your sanity, your health, or your relationships. Even implementing one of these shifts can give you immediate relief, but when you do them all together, you'll transform your revenue from fragile to predictable. So let me recap really quickly. 1, you want to make sure that you have a core signature offer, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what niche. Number 2, you want to adopt a revenue rhythm. You want to make sure that you're optimizing your brainwave states and your energy for the different types of activities business owners must do to generate revenue. Remember, your business activities are going to be directly related to generating revenue or indirectly related to generating revenue. Number 3, you want to simplify your client flow system. From the moment that they see you to the moment that they become a client, you want to simplify the whole process, not just for them, but for you as well and your team members. This is going to help plug any leaks and remove any chaos. Number 4, batch and protect your CEO time. When I say batch your CEO time, that means like making sure that you have 3 to 4 hours if that's what you need so that you're batching your plans because you're going to have multiple plans going on. You're going to have a sales plan. You're going to have a content plan. You might even have a marketing plan, and all those things relate to one another. But when they're not congruent, you can have a lot of chaos and a lot of uncertainty of what to do that day. So batching those CEO times, your CEO time where you're focused on the sales plan, your CEO time when you're focused on the content plan. So it's all comes together. And number 5, building recurring revenue streams. Again, you want to focus on the first year of making sure that you have a validated offer that takes you to 6 figures. And then once you see that you're headed towards that way, then you want to start doing some market research so that you can test the market demand for the recurring revenue idea that you have. Number 6, you want to make sure that you're leveraging delegation and automation because this is really going to free up your time and mental space so that you can make better business decisions. And lastly, you want to install weekly reset rituals and have a weekly ritual like the balanced work week so that you're able to perform better and you optimize your brainwave states and your energy overall. I want you to imagine that you're doing this for a few weeks. You are taking all 7 steps maybe, or maybe you're just taking half of them. I know that when you stick to this and you're committed to these 7 things, that your Mondays are going to start with clarity and even joy. It's like the weekends are a great reset, but you cannot wait to get back to your business because you know where your income is coming from. I want you to imagine that you're able to close your laptop at 3 p.m. to go pick up the kids without feeling guilty or feeling like you have to get back to work. I know that there are seasons where you might work a little bit late, but that's the building season. I want you to realize that you have the opportunity to get out of the building season and get into the flow season. And these things are going to help you get there. I want you to imagine that Stripe payments flow in steadily and not sporadically. That is all possible when you allow yourself to get out of your head. You rewire some of the beliefs that maybe are inherited from someone that believed that growing a business was a struggle. You reframe that, and then you use that as a stepping stone to implement these strategies that are right underneath your nose. But maybe in the past, you were too afraid to implement them, or you doubted them, or maybe you unknowingly self-sabotaged by getting so fixated on busy work. In the future, when your Mondays are going to start with clarity and you're going to be able to disconnect from your phone in the evening and actually have a great dinner with your family, and you know that Stripe payments are coming in, that's what it feels like when your business runs on systems instead of adrenaline. Hey, if this landed for you, I want you to grab my free Balanced Workweek guide. When you take my quiz, What's Your Business Energetic Archetype? You're going to get a free guide of one, how to write an energetically aligned business plan that walks you through the Balanced Workweek. And you'll get free access to my 3-series training, 3 rituals and routines to create more cash without doing more. The link is in the show notes. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Aligned Businesswoman podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Ann Miller, and I'm so excited to share some goodies with you. Head over to the show notes so you can grab your free gift, and make sure to leave a review and join me inside the Aligned Businesswoman Facebook group. Until next week, bye-bye, my love. Loving these podcasts? Want to take things deeper? Did you know I was able to grow my business by 3,000% in less than 1 year? By strategically setting up my business and my schedule for success. Check out my free download, How to Write an Energetically Aligned Business Plan, where I take you through the routines and rituals that set me up for success. You'll be able to discover what has helped my clients double their revenue in 90 days and what helped me grow my business by 3,000% in less than 1 year. Visit vanessaandmiller.com/CEO-day.